Great morning, great morning, great morning. I am Nicole D. Jones, and I am just happy and grateful for another day. I'm happy and grateful for life. I'm happy and grateful for you. I say it every week. I will not stop. All right. I am happy and grateful because I truly believe that every day that we wake up with breath in our body, it is another day and another opportunity to right our wrongs. Okay. I want to remind you that you are healthy, you are wealthy, and you are prosperous. Everything your hands go to touch, it must, it shall, and it will manifest, prosper, and grow great things because you are great. Okay? I didn't say you were perfect. We are not looking to be perfect. We're striving for perfection on this journey. Okay? So don't put that pressure on yourself. All right? You are great in who you are because God created you and He is great. All right. You are loved. You are loved and you give love. You are chosen. You are purposed. These are not things that we're trying to create or look for. These are who we are. These are the things that we are learning to be unapologetically. As long as we can do it in a posture of submission to Jehovah God, and we can be humble, submitted, and humble, not arrogant and proud. We can be the best versions of us unapologetically. All right. So, you know that we're talking about who are we? Okay. Last week we talked about friends. Who has access to you? That is my question right now. And a lot of times we put pressure on ourselves. We feel failed. We are hurt. We feel rejected. We feel all these things because we don't understand who has access to us and why. And this is what I want us to continue to unfold, okay? So last week, we talked about friends. And if you were not able to see it, go to the YouTube channel. I am Nicole D. Jones. Remember to click, like, share, whatever that little slogan is. Somebody type it in there, whatever I'm supposed to say when I promote that. But seriously, go to I am Nicole D. Jones. Listen to it because you got to be able to identify these different roles. We are these roles and we allow people to come into our area and have access to us as either a friend, an associate, an assignment, or an advisor. Each one of us fall in these categories. So last week we talked about a friend. This week I want to talk about an associate. Okay. Now I got several calls last week after the friend thing. And if you didn't walk away from that call, first of all, ultimately doing a self-evaluation of who has access to you, but ultimately doing an evaluation of yourself, you need to go back and listen. Okay, that's what the calls were about. I've had to do it. I'm doing it. But if friends hit you, associates jack me up. All right. So listen to this. I'm on the wrong page. Hold on. There we go. All right. For an associate, this is some of the things that I want you to think about. And this is also why I want you to go back because you need to be taking notes. Okay. But here's the thing with an associate feels a lot like a friend. An associate, you may actually put an associate in the category of a friend because of how much time you spend with someone, all right? So you got to know how to gauge these things, okay? Because one thing that I think that we don't do for ourselves, we don't give ourselves enough time. We don't invest enough time in ourselves. We always want to invest our time in things, but we got to learn how to begin to invest time in ourselves, all right? The first thing, in order to recognize the difference between an associate and a friend, you got to give it time, all right? You got to be willing to give people time. You have to understand that a lot of times, if you think about it, you may be one who spends more time with coworkers. You may spend more time with church members. You may spend more time with if you're a soccer mom or if you're on the PTA with your children. You may spend more time with your children's parents. okay? Because of different events or roles that you may take. So now with an associate, you may encounter someone that you feel comfortable to share things that are common. So if you're at work, okay, you may have that coworker that is just very comfortable to talk to, and y'all may have something in common. Y'all may be the same age. Y'all may both like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Y'all may both like it's this common thing. And so you're very comfortable talking to this person. But you have to start evaluating your conversation, because even though it's comfortable, it should be surface at this point, okay? Because you don't have the time. You don't have the time invested in this person to just be transparent and vulnerable like we described in friendship, all right? So you got to understand that with associates, it looks a lot like friendship. It could even feel like friendship, but you've got to make sure that you are willing to give it time. You got to make sure that you're okay to be at a surface level with your vulnerability in your conversation, but you also have to be willing to have an eye to see, okay? You got to be willing to look at character flaws. See, everything that the little checklist that we did in friendship, you have to start looking for these things when you are around people you are newly knowing. So you can kind of think of an associate or that time with an associate as your dating time. This is where you court someone. This is when you're dating someone, you are dating this person because you're trying to figure out, do we have things in common? Do I like spending time with this person? Do I like talking to this person? How does this person make me feel? How do we interact? Okay. But where I think we drop the ball in dating and even in relationship, we drop the ball on ourselves because we forfeit time. All right. Time. We've got to be willing to give ourselves time to see people for who they really are. Even to the point, and this is not a bad thing, because all of us have character flaws, okay? We all have character flaws. But when we begin to recognize these things in ourselves and in others, we got to give it time to see where that comes from and what the motive is, because every character flaw is not because a person is just a bad person. They just got flaws, okay? So you have to be able to do this with associates. You have to have the eye to see, the willingness to go through the time. And see, this is where I think we mess up, because most of the time we're going through our own stuff, okay? So when you think about an associate, or I'm not even going to label it an associate, you think about someone that you may spend a lot of time around or a lot of time with, it doesn't necessarily mean that they've earned your time or earned your trust. Your life situation may put you there. Like I said, you may be in a position right now where you got to work 10-hour days. So that means out of 24 hours, right? You take 24 hours, you minus 8 if you're sleeping at least 8 hours, okay? Then you take 2 more, that's 10, all right? So that's 10 hours from 24, you slept for 14 hours in your day. And I say, minus that time, travel, whatever you got to do to get from home to work, whatever. That leaves 10 hours in a day, I think 14 hours in a day. So that means at least 10 hours of the time that you have left. That's coherent time, all right? You're spending with coworkers, or you're spending wherever you're involved. You're spending, doing activities for your children or supporting, whomever. In that time, you realistically are spending more time with associates than maybe friends, okay? So you got to understand that when this happens, when this happens, we can blur the lines for ourselves, all right? So when I think of associates, the first thing that you have to do also is you gotta check your expectations. I say it all the time, discipline your expectations so you're not looking for a specific response, but just a response. But you gotta learn to discipline your expectations, all right? If you're the person that is usually frustrated in friendship, relationship, interaction with people, 9 times out of 10 is because you have unrealistic expectations. Okay? You have them. People cannot, you have failed expectations. People can't live up to your expectation, but sometimes it's because you have them in the wrong category. See, pause break. This is why associates hit me the way that it hit me. Anyone who's been in a group, well, the women's group with me, who walk close to me, who observe me, who do anything, no, the first thing I tell people is you don't want me as a friend. You do not want me as a friend. Ask my friends, okay? I felt for a long time that I failed at friendship. And the truth of the matter is I did. And even learning my sidebar, y'all see I'm saying past tense, all right? See, I failed. I am not a failure. So I understand I am no longer failing. Anyway, so I blurred that line of associate and friendship for a very long time, okay? I have to be intentional to kind of categorize people so that I know how to deal with myself, all right? And the reason I say this is because, again, if you are one who finds yourself very frustrated in your relationships, it is probably because you feel like you have failed expectations. But how many of those expectations are failure from yourself, not from the person, okay? This is why we got to get to a point where we are definitely placing people in the right categories, all right? This is, and okay, I know for me, this is why I say it hit me the way it did. Y'all got to forget my foot. But anyway, it hit me the way that it did because I had to come into a realization of the whole expectation thing for myself. And I had to realize that I did not do a lot of things that made my friends feel like friends because I did so much for associates. All right. Now, I'm understanding because, see, I'm the type of person when I am spending time or when people are around me, if I see something or if something is laid on my heart to share, I share it. All right. I share it. It could be a word of encouragement. It could be something that maybe Jehovah God allowed me to see and he tells me to say it. Where I've had to learn to discipline my expectations is people don't listen. All right? People don't listen. We don't listen. All right? We can get the truth. We can get the answer that we need to something. But when the answer don't line up with what we want to hear, we just don't listen. All right? So what I've had to do is I've had to learn to shift my perspective. Because if I'm talking to a coworker who is an associate, we're getting to know one another. We can connect, but that does not mean that this person is a friend. That does not mean that I'm just supposed to go and be all vulnerable with this person. Or they may share something with me, and then I feel like I got this revelation and it's the answer to your problem. And then they don't listen. They don't follow the instruction. Listen, I get irritated. All right. There's a large part of my walk where I was just like, man, people just don't listen to me. And it's true. But what I've had to do for myself is I've had to discipline my expectation. I've had to understand that people don't listen. So I've had to shift my expectation, and I've had to even understand that this person's not even my friend. They're just an associate. So why am I putting so much time and energy into whether or not they listen or not? We've got to understand that we are not Jesus. I did not die on the cross for you. You didn't die on the cross for me. If it is just that I'm supposed to drop the seed and your journey is going to water and grow it, I have to discipline my expectation and be okay with that. But see, if we go in with associates, with the heart and the vulnerability that we're only supposed to be giving to our friends, we will jack ourselves up, okay? And what I've had to understand in that, and what I need for you to understand, if you can identify with what I just said, the flaw in you, the flaw in me is because we're people pleasers. Okay? We're people pleasers. Nicole, I ain't worried about what people think about me. Yes, you are. I don't care. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. All right? But here's the thing. You should. It should matter to you how people view you. It should matter to you how you are spoken upon and how you're seen. Not because it's about the person, but what does your integrity look like? What does your character look like? Yes, you fall, but how long does it take for you to get up? All these things really do matter. Even if the person that is doing it does not matter so much, you should matter to you enough that how you are viewed upon makes a difference. Ooh, Lord. Anyway. Ooh, Lord. I'm going to stop right there. All right. The reason I also say it goes down to people pleaser, and I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about me. All right. These are the revelations I've come into when I am understanding the difference between friends, associates, assignments, and advisors. Okay. I had to recognize that I was a people pleaser. I had to then begin to understand where that's coming from. It comes from the place of rejection. It comes from the place of hurt. It comes from pouring myself out in the wrong areas and feeling like people don't listen to me. All right. Anyone who's walked with me through my journey know at this point, I don't care if you listen to me or not, respectfully, unapologetically, all of that in love, because I'm also understanding that, like I told y'all last week, yes, we are commissioned to love. All right. We're commissioned to love one another. We're not commissioned to befriend everyone. Okay. But what I'm now learning is the commission that we are commissioned on is the agape love. All right. And the agape love, it is not even about your emotions or how you make someone feel. Yeah, let me see something. Is this the right page? I done lost the page. Because what we are supposed to give to one another, I think the word in the Bible is like phileo. It's brotherly love. All right. There's a difference between agape love and brotherly love. Bible. I told y'all that's the best book for personal growth and self-development. But there is a difference, and we've misunderstood that. Okay. So yes, we love, but there are different types of love. The agape love and the brotherly love are different. What God expects from us is to give one another brotherly love. All right. Y'all go look the difference up. Okay. But here's the thing. I've had to understand that I was giving this love to people who didn't earn it or deserve it. But that's okay, because that revelation had to come to me. When you're dealing with associates, if you are in relationships that frustrate you, disappoint you, they hurt you, they're damaging to you, you're giving more than you're receiving on different levels, then 9 times out of 10, you are giving your friendship to an associate. Okay, listen. This is the stuff you got to see, though, because you got to learn to guard you. All right? With a friend, I'm going to give them my time. With a friend, I'm going to give them my money. Anyway, I'm a giver. All right? You can give your friends time and money. All right? They should be giving it back. Now, it may not be able to be at the level, but what I mean by that is I say time because it's you. I'm giving this person me. The reason I say money is because money is funny to a lot of people. And you find someone who give you their money. See, this is what I mean. Like, I had to figure out the difference, because I give anybody. If I had the money, I'd give the money. But I had to understand that I can't do that. This is why my friends would be irritated with me, because what I would do for a friend, I would do for an associate. And the reality is that's unbalanced. An associate they don't deserve that from me. But I was a people pleaser. I was worried about what people thought more than I was worried about me. See, you've got to be able to see these things so that you can get to a place where you understand no is a complete sentence. Now, for some people, that's uncomfortable. That's fine. I won't take that approach, all right? Let's get to a place where we can learn to have a bigger yes for ourselves, and it makes the no easy. Okay? That's what I had to do, all right? So you have to understand that you got to ask yourself these questions about an associate. Do I trust them? See, when you meet someone or even people that you know, because I know for me, I'm having to go through a lot of layers because I understand that friendship is valuable. It's sacred. It's a blessing. When they say that, I don't know. I don't necessarily think it's in the Bible, but do y'all know that in the Bible, friendship is described? Everything I'm talking about is in the Bible. Bible. I tell y'all, personal growth and self-development, these David and Monetier, Napoleon Hill, all these people are great. All right. Miles Monroe, but the Bible, where do you think everyone is getting these things from? Where do you think I'm getting it from? All right. I'm listening to mentors. I'm finding it in the word, and then I'm sharing it with you. Okay. So now you got to understand that everything that we're doing, it is here. It's in the book. What a friend should look like, what you should be looking like. How do you differentiate between an associate and a friend? First thing you need to be asking yourself, with people that you're dealing with and have access to you, can I trust you? Can I trust you? What are your character flaws? What are their character flaws? Okay? To recognize and be in a place of seeing someone's character flaws don't mean you got to throw them away, but you need to know who and what you're dealing with, period. And then you begin to understand where you go in this next step, because some people's flaws are just damaging to you. So they should never come out of the associate box. All right. Give yourself time. Once you start asking yourself these questions, give yourself time to see it through. All right. I think that we think black and white. A person is either a wolf or a sheep, but some people are a goat. Okay. Jesus used animals to describe people. Think of a goat. All right. A goat is finicky. A goat could be chilling, and then all of a sudden a goat get an attitude, be irritated, frustrated, trying to kick you and hurt you and all kinds of foolishness, and you don't even know why. A goat eats garbage. Anyway, all right. So you got to be able to identify these people that are in your life, what their character flaws, so you know how to maneuver. It is not to be judgmental. Okay, what time is it? 10:24. So, okay, are they reliable? Are they dependable? These are things that you just can't answer. You cannot answer those for yourself without time. I'm just saying, all right? You got to be willing to have enough self-control with yourself that you don't allow these emotional bonds and ties to come with associates. You give yourself to people. You the ride or die. I'm the one who get up 2 and 3 in the morning, go make sure you're okay. I'll go meet you at Waffle House because you having a bad night and you can't get past your boo. And he with somebody else. And here I am getting out my bed with my whole husband for everybody. Everybody. Okay. I had to stop doing that. It's one thing to go to a friend when she's sick, a friend, no problem, versus me just getting up because you can't sleep. See, I got it. I had to see the brokenness in me in order for me to be able to say no. Everything that we do is for us to be the best versions of us unapologetically, and it's okay. All right. So, associates, you got to make sure that you're not giving this emotional bond and attachment if they have not earned it. All right. You got to be willing to learn to share a little bit of yourself. Learn to share the surface things of you. Everyone can't handle you. Okay. Everyone cannot handle me. Everyone can't handle me. You got to understand, everyone cannot handle you. Everyone is not equipped to. Everyone is not your friend. All right. Okay. So you got to be willing to ask yourself, could you put yourself out there with these people? Can you be vulnerable? See, you got to start looking at people's character, and you got to ask yourself that before you just go and be vulnerable. All right. Time. All right. You also need to ask yourself, what is this person's motive? Only time will tell you that. My motive when people get so jacked up, ganky, and twisted, it is only time that people could really see my motive. It is only time with myself that I'm understanding why my motive may be misunderstood. Okay? A friend could believe that they want to be my friend, but then I have to question, if they don't question, how much they could trust me if I do the same thing with associates that I do with my friends. See, that was a hard pill that I had to swallow. All right. Shout out to two people in particular, ain't gonna say their names, who brought me into that reality. But it's all love. It's all good. I'm glad they did it. All right. One's bloodline, one's friendship. And it's all good. Okay. Because if it never would have happened, I never would have started checking myself. See, these things, they may feel hard. They may feel like, ooh, I'm doing these pow-pows. No, I'm just trying to help you be the best version of you unapologetically. Okay. So you got to be willing to understand what someone's motive is with you. And even what is your motive. All right. And you have to understand that there are imperfections with yourself, with people. And this is why you have to make sure that you put people in the right place with you. Because if they're not in the right place, our imperfections can destroy and hurt one another. Okay? Our imperfections. If you go and you share something with an associate, not a friend, thinking that they're a friend, and they go run your business, some of us strong enough, we got broad shoulders, we can handle it. But for some, man, some will uproot, some will pack up and leave their life and go to a whole nother state. I'm sure you know someone who's done that. Okay? And they left blaming the other person. We need to work on our own self-control. We can't control ourselves, so we can't think that we can control others. All right? This is why I'm saying you got to make sure you're putting people in the right spaces. All right? You got to be willing to see if this person would take an opportunity. Will you forfeit our relationship for an opportunity? Stuff you got to look at. All right? Because there are many people that will harm you for an opportunity. Y'all could be cool. Y'all could be going after the same position. Because I'm going back to a coworker. We could be applying for the same position. We done put in the applications, but now you done went in there and spit shade on me to make yourself look better. That's not a friend. An associate will do it though. And last but not least, because it is 10:29, you got to remember, Jesus had the 3, the 12, and the 72. He sent out 2 by 2. He had the 3 that he could trust. He had the 12 that he discipled, his associates. And then he had the 72 that he sent out on assignments. You got to know your 3 is your friends. Your 12 is your associates. All right. The others are the others. Okay. You got to be able to start putting these people in these perspectives. And we're going to keep growing on it. Because like I said, it's 10:29. I never want to belabor your time. Never want to belabor your time. But please, I'll make sure. Last week I said I have it up on Monday. I think I did it on Tuesday. Forgive me. But today I will do it. I will put it up. But go back and whatever hits you, play it, replay it. Just ask yourself that, because I believe Jehovah God will allow these things to hit you the way that they need to, so we can just start lining things up in our life. All right. So I want you to stay focused. I want you to stay positive. I want you to stay humble. I want you to be the best version of you unapologetically, because no one else can do it better than you. All right. Again, I am Nicole D. Jones, and I want you to continue to have a fantabulous rest of the day. Smooches.